Sudan's ongoing civil war has plunged the nation into a humanitarian crisis, with widespread hunger and displacement reported across the region. The conflict between the Sudanese armed forces and the rapid support forces has resulted in thousands of deaths and forced millions from their homes. The situation in the western region of Darfur is particularly alarming, marked by mass killings and widespread destruction. Many children are reportedly dying of starvation, exacerbated by flooding and displacement caused by the recent rainy season. As violence escalates, there are warnings of intensified conflict leading to mass displacement, with potential surges in cross border migrations into neighboring countries such as Chad, South Sudan, Egypt, Libya, Ethiopia, and the Central African Republic. Aurelian Mellin, an emergency and rehabilitation officer at the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, stressed the urgent need for coordinated international action. He noted that without immediate humanitarian efforts and advocacy for de escalation of the conflict, starvation and loss of life are likely to worsen not only in Sudan but also in Palestine, South Sudan, Haiti, and Mali. Speaking at a recent briefing, WHO Regional Director Dr. Hanan Balkhi said mothers and children were malnourished and dying due to lack of access to care, with cholera spreading throughout Sudan. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres recently told BRICS leaders, including Russian President Vladimir Putin, on October 24th, that the world needed peace in Gaza, Lebanon, Ukraine, and Sudan. Here is what he had to say.
We need peace in Sudan, with all parties silencing their guns and committing to a path towards sustainable peace. Those were the messages I have delivered to the high-level segment of the General Assembly in September in New York.
The FAO analysis has identified multiple countries as hotspots of very high concern for acute food insecurity, including Chad, Nigeria, Mozambique, Lebanon, Myanmar, Syria, and Yemen. New entries such as Namibia and Lesotho have been added to the list due to worsening hunger driven by adverse weather and declining agricultural outputs. Countries like Kenya, Niger, Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, Malawi, Somalia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe also face significant food insecurity. The report anticipates that a La Niña climate event expected between November 2024 and March 2025 will likely exacerbate conditions. This could lead to increased flood risks in Nigeria, Malawi, and Mozambique, while droughts may impact Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia. Mellin warned that the climate extremes induced by La Niña could severely affect food security, worsening hunger and suffering in crisis-affected regions. Kevin Mugenia, Program Director at Mercy Corps Ethiopia, pointed to a troubling trend where hunger deepens due to a complex mix of conflict, economic challenges, and climate change. He described the situation as creating the worst hunger crisis in a generation, particularly in countries like Sudan, Nigeria, and Mali. The report calls for immediate and scaled-up assistance to protect livelihoods and increase access to food in these hunger hotspots, as communities across Africa face unprecedented levels of need.